So with the Eagles and Niners set to square off this week, their rivalry continues to heat up as Birds rookie Jalen Carter seemed to take a subtle shot at San Francisco line, and that just adds to all the trash talk between these two teams ever since the NFC Championship last year, much of which of course came from Deebo Samuel as he pissed a lot of people off with everything that he said, but AJ Brown recently kinda came to his defense. Meanwhile, the Eagles will be getting several key players back for this matchup, and surprisingly, that may include Dallas Goedert as the tight end seems to think that he's ready to play. Plus, we got some huge news on a potential Zach Ertz reunion with the Eagles, and it's starting to seem like that could happen very soon. So let's talk about that and everything else leading into the Eagles matchup with the Niners. And we won't waste any time, let's get straight into it. So after all these months have gone by since the Eagles destroyed the Niners in the NFC Championship game, it seems like Niners fans still haven't learned their lesson, as of course we can remember back to January, where before the game, 49ers fans were messing with the Rocky statue, which of course, as we know, is a curse to do when you're a fan of an opposing team that's playing the Eagles, and then we obviously know what happened. The 49ers got killed and their quarterback got knocked out of the game in the first quarter, but it seems like the 49er faithful have forgotten all that, as leading into this week's game, we have this idiot showing up to the Rocky statue at like midnight when nobody's around, dressing it up in Niners gear and taking pictures in front of it.
We can't change what we are.
I mean, whatever, it's to be expected at this point. I'm not going to get all mad about it, we'll just see what happens on Sunday. But aside from the game, something else very cool will be happening when the Birds face off with the 49ers, as DeSean Jackson, who just retired as an Eagle on Friday, will be honored Sunday as one of the team's honorary captains. And again, huge congrats to D-Jax on his retirement. He truly was a special player and a franchise legend. But we also do owe DeSean Jackson a bit of credit for always believing in Jalen Hurts, as apparently D-Jax always knew Hurts would be special, which I've talked about on this channel before, but more information regarding that came out on Friday during Jackson's retirement press conference, as he said, quote, "I was lobbying for Jalen to be the starter when we had Winston. I told him the kid was special after we trained in the offseason." So again, it's very cool to hear that a legend like DeSean Jackson always believed in Jalen Hurts like he did. And it's also awesome that he caught his last touchdown pass as an Eagle from him. Same way franchise legend Zach Ertz caught his last touchdown as an Eagle from Jalen as well. But as of this week, there's seemingly a good chance that Ertz hasn't caught his last touchdown pass from Jalen just yet, as ever since being released from the Cardinals, there's been a lot of speculation that a reunion could be on the way, and that seems even more likely with this update from Adam Schefter, as while reporting that Ertz had officially cleared waivers, he said, quote, "The Eagles, a franchise for which Ertz needs 11 catches to pass Harold Carmichael and become their all-time leading receiver, are expected to have interest in re-signing him."
He's back!
I mean, personally, I want Zach Ertz to come back so bad. I mean, he's one of my favorite Eagles of all time, and I also think that he would be somebody who could actually still contribute to this team. I mean, the Eagles need depth at tight end, and Ertz was actually producing before he got injured, as he was leading the Cardinals in catches. I also think he'd be a great leader in the locker room, and a great tight end number 2 behind Dallas Goedert, who might be able to make some key plays in big moments. But what do you guys think? Are you in or out on a Zach Ertz reunion? But speaking of Eagles tight ends, we got a somewhat promising update on Dallas Goedert, as on Friday, Goedert practiced for the Eagles in a limited capacity, which is a huge step in the right direction. Now, the official injury report had him listed as doubtful for the game, but if you ask Goedert, he's ready to play.
You know, I got to talk to the doctor yet, let him know how it felt out there today, but to me, my arm feels really good, and I'm really excited to be where I'm at this time.
Still, my guess would be that they hold Goedert out this week so he can be fully healthy and make his return against Dallas, but if they do get him back, that's no doubt a huge boost for the offense. Speaking of which, Lane Johnson is officially back this week after not having any sort of injury designation on the injury report, so that's obviously a huge boost getting him back, and Milton Williams also will return this week for the defense, which is huge for them, as he's been really underrated this season. He's just been so productive, and this week they may need him even more if Fletcher Cox can't go, as he didn't practice all week with a groin injury. Now, he is listed as questionable for the game, so there is a chance that he still plays, but not having him would definitely hurt. So good thing the rest of the injury report played out pretty nicely, as most of the guys that were dealing with injuries throughout the week are good to go for Sunday. And that includes DeAndre Swift, who's been extremely important for the offense the past 2 weeks, as in both games versus the Chiefs and Bills, he sparked the offense and got them rolling on what were 2 eventual comeback wins for the Birds, so for this game, he's going to be key once again. I mean, we obviously know that the Eagles offense operates much better when both the pass and run game are rolling, so Swift getting going is a must against this really tough Niners defense, who actually is the second best run defense in the league, so it'll no doubt be a challenge, but if he can get going, that could be crucial in helping the Eagles unlock their full offensive potential in this game. I mean, it'll only help Jalen Hurts and those receivers be more successful against this Niners defense who is not impossible to throw the football against in any stretch of the imagination. So if the run game's going, I think that could really open up some big plays in the pass game for Jalen Hurts, DeVonta Smith, and A.J. Brown. And for A.J. Brown specifically, it feels like we could be due for a bounce back game. I mean, he's been pretty quiet over these past 3 weeks, albeit he did have 2 touchdowns in that span, but he definitely has really slowed down from earlier in the year, so he may be due for a big performance. And speaking of A.J. Brown, he was asked to comment on Deebo Samuel's constant trash talking, and specifically him saying that James Bradbury's trash, and he actually defended Deebo, so we're going to get to that in a lot more in just a minute. But real quick here, I want to say, if you are enjoying this video or finding it informative in any way, and you're part of the 75% of people that haven't done so already, make sure you go down and subscribe, and really importantly, turn on notifications so you don't miss any other videos just like this when they come out. I think that's a win-win for the both of us. I mean, I get more people watching the videos, and you get to see more Eagles content just like this. And also, while you're at it, if you are enjoying the video, make sure you drop a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And now with that being said, let's get back into the video. So when A.J. Brown, who's actually a close friend of Deebo Samuel, was asked to give his thoughts on all the trash talk, this is what he said.
He's hilarious, to be honest, man. Like I said, man, I don't think Deebo means any harm, but I just think that's just him. He's just having fun, you know. And I don't think it's just a shot at Bradbury, like personally. Like, he's just talking. That's just how he talks all the time. So, he's a big kid, put it right.
I mean, I get it. They're friends, so AJ obviously isn't going to publicly come out and say anything bad about his guy like that. And, you know, maybe he's right. Deebo could just be having fun or not mean any harm by what he's saying. That being said, I do think that we can all agree he could have handled himself a lot better, because the way the whole thing came off was really whiny and crybaby-ish. And I think specifically the comments about Bradbury were pretty uncalled for. And Darius Slay seems to agree.
Man, I'm just like, you know, of course I ain't like the choice of words, but because, you know, we all men, we respect the game, man. We all blessed. You know, I don't understand why you attack definitely another man at the position that we playing at the highest level. But you know, that's his opinion. You know, I mean, I know Deebo personally, man. He's a good dude, but I think he probably should have like a way better choice of words. We're saying like, you know, trash, but you know, that's his opinion though. You know, everybody got an opinion, you know, so it is what it is though. But I ain't like that, but. Because, you know, like I said, I know Deebo pretty well. I talked to him about it. And, you know, but, yeah, that's his words, though. That's how he feel.
Yeah, I definitely would have to side a lot more with Slay, who, again, despite knowing Deebo just like AJ, didn't like those comments at all. So now, hopefully, Slay and Bradbury can go out there and continue to trend upwards as they have been the last few weeks and lock down Deebo and slow down this Niners offense. It definitely won't be easy, though, as they got a ton of offensive weapons. And their quarterback, Brock Purdy, is actually playing like one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL right now and leading the team very well, so Darius Slay gave Purdy a lot of credit for what he's done this season on Friday.
Oh man, he's been amazing, man, playing at a high level, continue to keep doing what he did last year, smart, making great decisions. You know, he's, you know, running the team as he should, you know. It's good that the guys trusting to him, man. Them guys believe in him over there, so I think if he was like a top 5 pick right now or something that came in the draft, I think he'd be highly up there with the MVP votes.
Slay may actually have a point there, and with Purdy at the helm and all these offensive weapons San Fran has, the Eagles defense is in for a really tough test. Although they do definitely have one weakness, and that's the offensive line, as the unit is ranked as just the 22nd best O-line in the league right now, and if you took Trent Williams off of it, it very well could be the worst. And star rookie defensive tackle Jalen Carter seems to know this, as he recently commented on the Niners offense, and he seemed to take a subtle jab at the offensive line.
You know, I don't know, you know, they got a lot of weapons out there on the, you know, on the outside, but, you know, I'm in the inside, I'm in the trenches, so, you know, I ain't hearing nothing about the O-line.
Now this is interesting. So he said there that he hasn't heard anything about the offensive line, which a lot of people are taking it as him saying that the offensive line's a weakness, and he's kind of taking a shot at them in the way, but I think it's also very possible he was just saying that he's an interior defensive lineman, so he's focused on his matchup, which is the offensive line, and the reporters there were asking him about the offensive weapons that the Niners have, but he had yet to get a question about the Niners offensive line, so I don't know. This could be taken out of context a bit, or maybe he meant exactly what people are saying, which is that the Niners O-line isn't very good, so let me know what you guys think he meant down in the comments. Regardless of that, it is true that the Niners offensive line is their weak point, so for the Eagles defense to be able to slow down the 49ers offense, they got to take advantage of that. Guys like Jalen Carter as well as Hassan Reddick and all the other pass rushers the Eagles have to make a big impact in this game and generate pressure on Brock Purdy, just like they did in the NFC Championship last year and take over the game, hopefully without anyone getting hurt this time around. And it also would help the Eagles defense if the offense actually gave them a lead to work with, because it's been clear that Brock Purdy is a very different player when playing with a lead than he is from behind. He's quite the opposite of Jalen Hurts in that way, where Jalen rises to the occasion when the team needs him to bring them back, while Brock is kind of a front runner. He's much worse when playing from behind because it makes it easier to defend him and counteract his skill set when the defense knows that he's going to be dropping back to pass on a majority of the plays, so hopefully the Eagles can start quick, which would give them a huge advantage. Now, the weather also could be an advantage if it does end up raining during the game, as the Birds have played in a lot of rain games this year, including last week's OT thriller, and as we all know,
Eagles trying to go.
But again, we must highlight that despite all the advantages that the Eagles have and the fact that they're 10-1 and at home in this game, they're still the underdogs. And a lot of people, especially the national media, expect them to lose. For example, Get Up's entire panel picked the Niners to win the game in Philly, so it is what it is, I guess. I'm personally going to go ahead and take the Birds to win by a score of 28-24 in a tight battle to move to 11-1 and kind of take a stranglehold of the NFC's #1 seed. That being said, what do you guys think? Let me know your score predictions down in the comments. And also, again, if you enjoyed this video and want to see others like it coming in the future, make sure you subscribe and really importantly turn on notifications. Also, drop a like down on this video if you did enjoy it and want to show some support. And if you want to watch another video talking about how James Bradbury kind of took the high road in response to Deebo Samuel's comments about him, as well as a lot more news from earlier in the week, you can go check this out right here. Now, with all that being said, that's pretty much all I got for this one, guys. So thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.